Okay, following up from the next video, let's talk about timelines. And this one is a big one. This one is definitely a source of frustration for everyone involved. When you hire a web team, you, in your mind, because I know I do it all the time, that you expect it to be done quickly. You want it done, okay, I need this done by Friday. Okay, that's all great, right? However, let's say that it's Monday and we start the job on Monday, but Tuesday we realize the password you sent us doesn't work, or that your web host doesn't allow for this whatever you're asking us to do. And on Tuesday we send you an email with a list of questions or problems, and you don't reply until Thursday. There is no way we're going to make that Friday deadline. It's not going to happen. So it's kind of like, so let's imagine we say, okay, 5 days. We can absolutely get this done in 5 days. That 5 days starts from the time that we're in the job, on the job. And because we had it happen recently where the client was on this deadline. He had a month to do a website. And so let's say day one, we sent him the mock-ups. And once the mock-ups were approved, we could have started the build. 3 weeks later, he gets us back comments on the mock-ups. And he's like, yeah, don't forget the deadline's this Friday. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. We budgeted a month for the build. We can't do it in a week. That's completely unrealistic. However, for whatever reason, clients in a lot of cases, and I'm not saying this is you, but they feel that the web team is kind of like the service provider where we have to make work whatever works for them. So if they're like, I need this by Tuesday, and it's a task that's going to take 20 hours to do, Tuesday it's not happening. It's not going to work. Like, that's not possible. Like, mathematically, it's not possible to get that done. And so understanding timelines and realistic timelines, and understanding that we are at the mercy of your speed of responsiveness. So if we send you, like I said, if we send you something on Tuesday and we don't hear back from you until the following Monday, you can probably assume we've stopped working on it. So when you circle back Monday and you're like, hey, sorry for the delay, my kid was sick and, things just got out of hand, that's okay. We have other projects. We're not waiting for you. But just so you know, you lost 5 days. So now let's add 5 days to the end of that project. Because how you want to work best with a web team is you want to keep it moving. You want to keep it moving. So you mentally coming into this project, if I haven't told you this already, I would tell you now, you want to give yourself max a 24-hour window to get back to your web people, because we will stop. If we're like, hey, what do you think about how this looks? And we don't hear back for 3 days, we stop. What are we going to do? Like, are we going to work without your permission? Like, no. So keeping that in mind, that we are at the mercy of your responsiveness, and so is your deadline. So if your deadline is tight, you need to be even more on the ball, like response times within an hour, like fast, because we need you. Like, we can't work without you. We have clients all the time. They're like, I'm in a rush. This needs to be done. And I'm like, we can do this, but you have to be able to get back to me within like 15 minutes so we can keep this rolling. And it doesn't happen. And it'll be the next day. And it's just, again, it's not my deadline. It's your deadline. So keeping that in mind, that if you are on a deadline or you want this done quickly, you need to be fast. And any delays longer than 24 hours, just so you know, add that time back. Add it in. Boom, 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 boom. It's going to push it back. And if it doesn't matter if it pushes it back, then don't worry about it. If you don't care about the deadline, that's okay. But if you give your team a deadline and you're not responding within 1 or 2 days, it's going to drag it out and push it back and push it back. And then you cannot hold that same expectation that they can hit that deadline. So if you said, I need this done by August the 1st, based on the fact that the agreement is you're going to reply within 24 to 48 hours to each question, if that's not done, you cannot expect your web team to hit the same deadline. It's not going to happen. So keeping that in mind, that fairness and your responsiveness and a realistic approach to deadlines. And if you're finding you cannot get back to us on the schedule that we need, if you find that 24-hour turnaround is way too much, you've got way too much going on, let's have a conversation. Let's rework the deliverable schedule so that you know and we know where we are. We can stop feeling anxious about you're not replying and we're waiting and you're not feeling like, it's just better. Let's just reset, relook at this, change the timeline, and it'll just go a lot smoother that way. I'll see you in the next video.